questions for head coach Jared Bednar. Go ahead, Colleen. We'll start with you.
Coach, was this the epitome of what you said about this team being able to find a way?
I think there's I wish we'd find an easier way. That one was something. But you give him credit. Like, I felt like there was some moments in the game where we were a little down, but we had enough guys that were, upbeat, positive, kept the belief, that kind of dragged the other guys into the fight a little bit. And it wasn't everyone's best game, that's for sure, but that's what a team's all about. You're dragging each other into the fight and trying to find a way. And yeah, it was a struggle, but we got it done.
Jesse, then Tracy.
Coach Nate just told us that when they went up 3-0, he said that's a long time for a team to hold a lead against us. Just how did you hear that? You just used the word belief. Like, how did you hear that belief starting to grow as you guys starting to lean on them a bit?
Yeah, well, it took a while, right? Like, first period, you'd like to be able to get out of, they dominate the first 5, you'd like to be able to switch it around. They dominate the second 5, the third 5, and next thing you know, it's end of the period and you're dodging bullets and you find yourself down 3. But I heard Nate say that multiple times on the bench tonight. Like, it's, they got 1 and it's just like, big deal. So what, they're going to hang on to 1 goal lead, but they kept pushing and built the lead. And it's just at that point, I think the belief started to grow when we, it just starts with 1 shift and then we were able to sustain it. And our second period was fantastic, right? Like, it just was. And so you got a lot of guys back on board, I think, at that point. It's leadership, it's guys digging in personally as a line, just kind of trying to figure it out on the fly, right? And we're trying to give them any information we could to just sort of simplify it and get on our toes a little bit. And I said at the start of this series, like, they're a really good team. So it's almost like you're either the hammer or the nail in the series, right? And when they took control of game 3, we were the nail a lot. And then I felt like that way in the first period, like today. And then we started to be the hammer again in the second. And I didn't love the start of the third. Like, I thought we were kicking the puck around a lot. But we got it going. It just takes 1 chance. Like, I just kept telling them, we're just looking for 1 chance to get back in this game. Someone capitalize on 1 chance. And so anyway, that's where how it ends up, and that's why you keep fighting to the end every night.
Tracy, then Ryan.
Jared, talking about that fantastic second, you make the goalie switch during first intermission to Wedgwood. Was there anything said also in the room before you came out for that second period?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. It's just like, again, just trying to give them a message that sort of simplifies where it starts for us. Like, what's the starting point here? Because we were losing all over the ice in every aspect. So just trying to break it down and like, where do we start? Like, what do we got to concentrate on first, and then like, what's next? And if you give them a third thing, then just do that, and like, we'll start to gain a little momentum, right? So the analytics weren't good after the first, and we had to change them. When it comes to the goalie switch, a regular season game, I would have left Blackwood in there because he was no different than the rest of our team. Like, we just weren't good enough, but you're looking for a spark, and that's a tough, for me, that's a tough situation, because I'm like, well, everyone else, the only reason, everyone else had the opportunity to turn it around, and Blackwood didn't, but I just kind of felt like everything that was coming to the net, like, he wasn't controlling the rebounds, like, there was too much garbage in front of the net, and if that's the way they were going to play, like, we needed to handle some pucks clean, like, through traffic and without traffic, and Blackie wasn't doing that. So I felt like this could be an opportunity to spark our group. Maybe we get a heck of a performance out of Wedge, which we did. But he, again, like, if I could have made changes to our lineup with healthy bodies and after the first period, I would have pulled a whole bunch of guys, not just Blackwood.
Right.
You talked about guys dragging guys into the fight. What can you say about Parker Kelly tonight? beats Brett Faber to the net on his goal, and then he makes that pass to Marty in overtime.
Because it starts with the competitiveness. It's what he's never going to cheat you on. Like, he'll have nights where he's better than others. He'll have nights where, you know, like he looks like a superstar, and he'll have nights where he's not that good, but there's not many of those because, you know, like a lot of guys on our team, their success comes from their hard work and competitiveness, and then dialed into the details, right? And so, you know, I feel like I didn't check the minutes, but I'm assuming the fourth line had a lot of ice because I felt like they had pretty good juice and they were creating. You just, you know, when some other guys weren't. So when one line struggles, you need another line to step up. I think the fourth line for us is a line that consistently does that. You know, like they know that they're going to play more because they're in tune, and some other guys are having tough nights, and that could be fatigue, it could be anything, but they're good at recognizing when we need something to happen, and tonight they went out and made it happen.
Corey, then D-Mac.
You guys, like literally from training camp, made no secret about the fact that you wanted to win the division, win the conference, get the President's Trophy. Given the way these first 2 rounds have played out, do you feel like that push and that focus from day one is vindicated?
Is what? Sorry? Well, okay, listen, like, I don't know how to say this without, okay, how would you rather have it? You know, like every year I've been here after my second year, it's like cup or bust, cup or bust. Well, we've won 1 cup. It's hard to win, okay? That's number 1. But I wouldn't want it any other way. I don't think our players would want it any other way. I don't think the players that join our team at the deadline, the guys that have been here for years, would want it any other way. Now, you're leaving yourself open to a lot of criticism because it's always just like cup or bust, and every time you lose in the first round, second round, whatever it is, you know, people are going to get on you because you didn't win the cup. But I'd still rather be fighting for that, like having earned that type of reputation because of the way you play through the regular season and the group that you put together as an organization and the high expectations, rather than, well, let's just try and make the playoffs, you know? Like, there's a lot of teams doing that. And there's a lot of teams in our league that I think are cup or bust and that still haven't won in the time that I've been here. So, and we're only halfway home. You know, we could be leaving ourselves open to criticism later on in this year if things don't go well. But it's the way you want it. You got to build a team that you think can compete for it, and then you're gonna have to get a lot of luck on the way, and you're gonna have to play some really good hockey to make it happen. So it is what it is. That's the world of sports.
D-Mac, then Arif.
Coach, where would you rank this in terms of comebacks you've coached?
It's the most stressful one that I've had. The most stressful comeback of my career.
Why?
Well, because, like, I don't know, just because you watched it, so you already know.
Arif.
Jared, you're down Sam Malinsky, Cale McCarr felt like was obviously going through it there late in regulation, but you put Brent Burns out there with those guys, and you know, he's probably played a lot of 6-on-5 in his career, but I don't think you used him much in that spot.
Yeah.
And he didn't end up setting up the goal directly, but like every time the puck went to the point, he was the one getting those pucks in, deflections, redirects, keeping it in the zone. Like, is this almost like just luxury to have someone like that almost be like third on the depth chart, I guess?
Hey, listen, like we were having, as a team, okay, forget about just that shift. As a team, we were having trouble getting pucks through to the net, you know, getting them anywhere near the net, okay? And credit to Minnesota for that. But the one guy, if you could pick a strength of Burnsy's, it's getting playable pucks around the net. Like, that's it. Like, there's no hesitation in it. If it comes up to him at the top, it's not that he doesn't make plays, but 95% of the time he's going to shoot it. And he's just going to get it around there, and he has a knack for getting it past the first layer, past the second layer. If you're fighting to the net anywhere top of the crease to the hash marks, you're gonna have a chance at like deflecting something, coming up with a rebound, something hitting you and going in. It's why he was out there, and it's just trying to use a guy to his strengths in a situation where you're it's a little bit chaotic at that point. You got guys changing, you get your 6-on-5 out there trying to get set, and it's your sort of last hope, but you might as well go with your best option. For me, that was Burnsy tonight.
Megan, then Evan.
You touched on it a little bit, but looking at behind the scenes look into the course correction that happens out of the first period, who are some players that either led by example or have the right voice, the right message to help that to translate?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of guys, and it's different. It's not just one guy saying, but like that we touched on Mac already, early in the game. It's if I had to break it down, it's probably every guy, okay? But it's going out and having one good shift, doing the right thing, and then other guys on the bench recognizing it and pointing it out and just trying to coax each other along because it wasn't going well, right? And then I think that's what it does. You start stringing a couple plays together. It could be a nice breakout, it could be a hit, someone going to the net, someone getting the puck through to the net, and other guys, if you're engaged and you're a participant in our team's success, it's part of your responsibility is to point it out and keep picking out the good things and just trying to string the good things together. So it wasn't one guy. Obviously our leaders, Landy, has a lot to do with it. I'm not in the room in intermissions, right? And Mac, it's just a belief that you have to have, and sometimes that gets tough, and it was tough during the first period. It was probably tough coming into the second, but eventually we got there, and I think it's a team responsibility, and there's probably everyone on our team was kind of doing it at one point or other.
Take a few more, Evan.
I think Kulak became number 16 goal scorer in 5 games for you. When you hear that number, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I love it. I love it. It's hard to that's hard to beat. When you have different guys stepping up every night, you can't key on one guy. There's no sort of coming in to play our team and if we shut down the McKinnon line, we're gonna win. That to me, that's not a recipe for success, right? So you're trying to get everyone in the right spots, in the right matchups that everyone on your team can excel in their role, and that's what we've been getting so far in the playoffs, and that's what we're gonna need to get continuing on in the playoffs in order to keep advancing.
Bailey.
Building off of that too, even Kulak kind of said he's maybe not the flashy player to go out and score those kinds of goals, but he's a guy who comes in the middle of the year. What has it been about his maybe attention to detail on both sides of the puck that's made you feel confident in using him in situations like this?
Well, it's easy to use him in any situation because he is a reliable, trustworthy, elite defender. That's what he is. Okay, and then I've said this before. Then we want to push him into helping us in other areas because we've seen a bunch of guys that we've had in the past. Josh Manson, no different. What else can you do to help us? You've got this down pat now. How can we kind of grow your game, right? And there's expectations that our players keep improving in those areas, and he's no different. It's not the nature of his game. It's not something that probably comes natural to him in a lot of different situations. But if the timing's right and he makes a good read, we want to encourage him to get part of it, and he was obviously on that play.
Sean, finish it up.
How about that one too? How big is what Kulak and Burnsy give you when Kale is fighting through whatever he's fighting through?
Huge, yeah. I mean that you can't understate that. When you look at Burnsy's series, I mean, because you're without Manson early, Mans comes back, you're without Malinsky, you got Kale fighting through stuff. I mean, there's only 6 of them, right? And guys need to step up. We were four guys rolling on the bench. Jack wasn't playing much for a while, and I think Burnsy's series was incredible, and obviously Kulak's was the same.
Thanks,
How is Kale?
Kale is okay.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck.